Wood is a living material. It breathes, it swells, it shrinks, and without the right care, it rots faster than you can imagine. Yet, for centuries, medieval builders created structures that have outlasted entire civilizations. Massive halls, bridges, and timber homes still stand today, and the secret wasn't some mystical magic. It was a rot-proofing trick that modern construction somehow lost along the way. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll see how you can borrow this ancient wisdom and why subscribing to History's Survival Code could give you the edge in learning survival skills from the past that actually work today. Understanding why wood dies. Rot isn't just a nuisance, it's a chemical war. Fungi, moisture, and oxygen team up to break down cellulose in timber. Modern builders often rely on chemical preservatives or pressure treatments to fight this, but here's the catch. Those methods are temporary. Medieval craftsmen didn't have chemical labs. They had observation, experimentation, and patience. They learned which woods lasted decades, even centuries, with minimal treatment. And more importantly, they knew how to prepare them to resist decay naturally. Choosing the right wood. Not all wood is created equal. Oak was the crown jewel of medieval construction. Dense, tight-grained, and naturally rich in tannins, oak resisted rot far better than softer woods like pine or fir. Builders didn't just pick any tree, they understood species, age, and even the time of year the timber was cut. Spring and summer cuts often held more sap and moisture, making them vulnerable to decay. Winter harvested wood, on the other hand, had reduced sap content and a natural resilience that modern builders overlook. Seasoning and drying wood like a master. Before a single beam touched the frame of a cathedral or fortress, it had to be seasoned. Medieval craftsmen stacked timber carefully, allowing air to circulate on all sides. They sometimes even built open-sided drying sheds, aligning boards to maximize wind exposure and minimize sunlight that could crack the surface. This wasn't just about drying, it was about balancing moisture levels so the wood remained stable over decades. Modern construction often rushes this process, trapping moisture and giving fungi the perfect starting point. Here's where it gets really clever. Medieval builders often coated timber with natural oils, resins, or tars derived from pine or birch. These substances penetrated the wood, creating a barrier that water and fungi couldn't easily breach. Some records even mention soaking posts in lime water, a technique that not only preserved the timber, but also made it slightly more fire-resistant. Think about that. These structures survived centuries of weather, insects, and occasional fire, long before synthetic chemicals were even imagined. You know, many modern builds ignore a basic rule. Wood really hates sitting in water. Back in medieval times, carpenters would raise beams off the ground using stone plinths or ceramic footings. This allowed airflow under the wood, which helped prevent moisture from accumulating at those critical contact points. Whenever water pooled, it would invite rot almost immediately. By keeping wood elevated and dry, medieval structures managed to avoid the single biggest contributor to decay. These days, modern concrete pads and direct soil contact often doom timber to a much shorter lifespan. Now let's talk about the magic of joinery. Mortise and tenon joints weren't just for aesthetics, they actually minimized trapped water. Unlike modern nails or screws that can create stress points where water collects, medieval joinery let wood expand and contract naturally. Tight-fitting joints, paired with natural wedges and pegs, helped distribute weight evenly and reduced structural strain. Honestly, this small detail dramatically extended the lifespan of timber beams, halls, and even bridges. So, the takeaway here is pretty simple. Longevity comes from understanding how materials behave, practicing patience, and using natural protection methods. If you're into DIY construction, prepping, or building survival structures, you can totally apply these lessons today. Choose dense, durable woods. Make sure to season them properly. Treat them with natural oils or resins. Always elevate them above wet surfaces. And, yeah, design joints that allow movement instead of restricting it. What medieval craftsmen achieved without any modern chemistry can still be replicated now, as long as you respect these time-tested principles. Modern construction, more often than not, prioritizes speed and cost over actual durability. The buildings we put up today might last for decades, but the medieval approach aimed for centuries. In a time when sustainability is more important than ever, looking back at these ancient tricks isn't just interesting, it's honestly necessary. History shows us, again and again, that sometimes the best solutions aren't new, they're rediscovered. Rot-proofing isn't just some clever trick, it's really a survival code. Folks who understand how medieval timber survived can build smarter, longer-lasting structures without having to rely entirely on chemicals or constant maintenance. And that, right there, is the heart of history's survival code. Taking timeless knowledge and applying it in ways that actually work today. So, if you want to keep uncovering these lost secrets and make your structures last like medieval masterpieces, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join our community. Share this video with anyone who's ever struggled with rotting timber or wants to learn the old ways that truly work.